うか。誰も傷つけぬ、傷つけられぬ世界でありますように。ペインブレイカー。
Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Fate Grand Order. Alright, we got through Agartha, which some people claim is the worst part of Fate, which, you know what, if you agree, I can understand where you're coming from, and if you don't, well hey, that's cool too. I just hit 300 consecutive logins, so I got another bunch of Saint Quartz, so that's pretty cool. I think I'm going to hold on to it for now though. I do want to hold off for a future thing coming up, although I know there's some people who probably want me to get some of the things going on now, and I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, I'm going to hold off for a future event. But now that we're done that, I think it's time we move on to the last of the part 1.5 parts, which is Salem, the Forbidden Advent Garden. From what I hear, this one is written better, but has a gimmick. I don't know anything about what the gimmick is. When people say there's a gimmick, and they keep saying there's a gimmick, get ready for the gimmick, and it's like, well, what does that mean? We'll have to see. So yeah, something I do want to point out, Pseudosingularity, Pseudo-Parallel World, and Pseudosingularity 4. So, because I think the official third Pseudosingularity is the Fate Extra CCC event, which is coming back soon. So we'll get to see that one in a bit, because I don't think this one's actually the third Pseudo-Singularity. So let's, because as we know now, that was a lost belt we went to. But anyways, let's see what's up in Salem. I'm gonna be honest, don't know much about Salem, so this is gonna be interesting. Not bad at all. In fact, I dare say it came out rather well. Good morning, Sanson. Having a late breakfast? Oh, what a wonderful smell. Is that a crepe? Oh. I loved crepes as a kid, and then I had like a phase where I didn't like crepes, but then I discovered, oh man, you can put you can make a savory crepe with some meat and a béarnaise sauce, or you can have a sweet crepe where you add in some chocolate sauce or some fruit. Oh, crepes are so good. Morning mash? No, this is a buckwheat galette. I heard we'd procured some lovely ham and found myself hooked after spending some time with the chef. Emia's just in the back like, yo, that's me. So you're using ham, cheese, a soft-boiled egg, and is that zucchini? It looks delicious. That would be good. Thank you. I often had galettes just like this when I was growing up in Paris. They were originally a peasant dish from the Brittany region. It's even said they were served at the palace of King Louis XIV's mother, Anne of Austria. Ideally, I would have liked to pair it with some hard cider, but... Oh, right, exactly. You couldn't do that because we've run out, right? Apparently, someone broke into the kitchen and stole most of the alcohol. Really? Was it a thief? I think so, since a number of rooms also experienced inexplicable blackouts around the same time. That's why I'm on the case right now. Holmes has been preoccupied with something in the hangar. Oh, we know what that is. So it's up to me to be the detective this time. I see. In that case, I will gladly offer my assistance. Ever since the search for the 7 Holy Grails came to an end, what has brought me the greatest joy is the drastic improvements made to Chaldea's pantry. It's thanks to them that servants like us can enjoy seasonal delicacies and flavors from around the world. Wow! In this one scene, you've given Sanson more character than in every single moment that he's been in the plot beforehand. I'm so grateful to be able to experience so many wonderful tastes, but ashamed to learn that there's a thief among us here in Chaldea. Me too. Since Chaldea is still responsible for preserving humanity, managing our food stockpiles is important. Well said. Huh? My head. I feel sick. Good morning, Robin. You seem a bit under the weather. Oh, morning, Mash. Don't mind me. I can smell the alcohol from here. Robin? He's clearly hungover. He must have drunk an immense amount to be this affected despite being a servant. Fortunately, this works out well. Here, Robin, drink this onion soup. and to get you hydrated and replenish some of the salt you lost. Yo, French onion soup, so good! If that doesn't cure your hangover, drink a glass of water with some baking soda to reduce the acidity in your stomach. I don't know about that. Give me the onion soup, keep the baking soda water away from me. No thanks, I'm not drinking that. I've smelled rotting animals that weren't so rank. There aren't even any medicinal herbs in it. I mean, it's not like you're a witch or an alchemist or... Ugh, my head. I knew it, you're still in bad shape. What help could you be if there was an emergency right now? Won't you please consider taking Sanson's advice and having the soup? Also, I would appreciate it if you could tell me what happened last night. And please, don't skimp on the details. Last night? Okay, if that's what you want. I couldn't care less what Dr. Frenchie says, but I can't say no to you. Still, there's not much to tell. I just kind of ended up roped into a little drinking party the authors were having. Sometimes it's nice to just cut loose and drink like there's no tomorrow. Consequences be damned, you know? Anyway, the last thing I remember is Amadeus crashing the party and drinking the rest of the booze. After that, it's all a blank. Amadeus. I swear the man is a bottomless pit where alcohol is concerned. He always shows up unannounced at parties, drains the wine cellar as if it were his own, and doesn't pay a single écu to boot. Écu? 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 What is that? Oh, that is a French coin from the 13th to 19th century. I've literally never heard of an écu. Robin, were you perhaps sent to raid the kitchen last night as an errand boy of sorts? Now that you mention it, I think something like that might have happened. I see. I'm glad I'm making progress. I knew I could resolve a small case like this without asking Holmes for help. At any rate, it seems clear that you were all getting plastered on Chaldea's reserves. Indeed. What a sorry sight. Yeah, not all of us were brought up with the luxury of using proper knives and forks for a dainty little breakfast. Unlike some nobles I know, I'm not a noble. Oh, is that so? Maybe you're not, but you aren't exactly one of us commoners either, are you? What's going on with Robin? Does he have some sort of problem with Sanson? I mean, he is kind of the proletariat that Robin Hood is against. Uh-oh. An alarm? What does the tablet viewer say, Mash? Let me see, it's a Type 3 alert. An abnormality has been spotted somewhere far away. I'll head for the command room. Could we turn it down? The sound is the last thing I needed with this headache. Robin, you need to take care of your hangover before you do anything else. Agreed. Once you do that, I shall take you to see the chef. Got it. Take care, Mash. Don't push yourself too hard now. Oh, wait, what? Looks like things have finally calmed down. Guess they've got a handle on the situation now. Well, it ain't my type of business. I'm A-okay steering clear of the limelight. All those hot-blooded hero types can handle demon schemes and threats to humanity just fine without me. This soup really does hit the spot. Something's up. I'm here, what's the situation? You're looking as fluffy as ever, Mash. Did you say fluffy? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean by that, but thank you, Senpai. In fact, you're looking kind of fluffy yourself too, like here, where you still got some bedhead. Okay, you two, it's too early in the morning for flirting, and the command room isn't the place. That's better. Now then, here's all the information we've got so far. You can fix your bedhead while you listen, Tanner. First of all, we know that the alarm originated in North America. We're detecting an incredible magical energy signature, but the threat level is fairly low, at least for now. At the moment, we're sending in a fleet of investigative drones to collect more intel and communicating with the local authorities. We're also coordinating with the North American branch of the Mages Association, since Chaldea didn't observe this phenomenon. Oh, the North American branch of the Mages Association. That is very interesting. However, there aren't many association agents in North America, so I doubt they'll be of much help. Where exactly in North America is this coming from? If you'll direct your attention to the screen, right here. This image was just taken by one of our stationary satellites. The United States East Coast. Specifically, an area north of Boston, Massachusetts. Massachusetts. I'm gonna be very real. I have no damn clue how you pronounce this. Massachusetts. Massachusetts. Why? Why would you do this, America? It's almost as bad as your Kansas and your Arkansas. Come to think of it, it's still in the middle of the night over there, isn't it? Even so. It's so dark I don't see a hint of light anywhere. It's more like a crater than anything. That's right, it's pitch black, complete and total darkness. We can't detect so much as a hint of artificial light within a perfectly circular 7-kilometer radius. This is no blackout or freak weather. Magecraft is the only explanation for something like this. Naturally, since it's covered in such total darkness, we don't have any other visual data. Do we know what's in the middle of said darkness? As I recall, there was a port down here at this inlet. I think its name was Salem. Are you back? Are you back in this? I hope Geronimo's back. Geronimo's so cool. It is a cursed name, both for the white man and for us. Geronimo, my presence was requested, and so I have come. Are you sure I can be of use to Vinci? My tribe knows little of the sea, after all. I'm sure, Geronimo. In fact, you're the perfect warrior for the job. You're like one of 4 North American servants. The proud members of your tribe have been attuned to that land's voice since ancient times, so we could really use your wisdom right now. Honestly, I love the way that they write in, like, the First Nations as just, like, equal to the mages of the land for like, North America. I love that. I see, so the situation has become so dire that you're making a formal request for my help. Very well, I will be of assistance however I can. What about the people inside the darkness? Are they all right? At the moment, we have no way of knowing. So far, the US Army's reconnaissance drones haven't picked up any sign of the local populace, or even any radio transmissions. Simply put, 50,000 people who just finished their perfectly ordinary day have inexplicably disappeared. I can only imagine what the White House advisors are going through right now in the run-up to the inevitable press conference. Don't worry. If Salem is blue, then they won't do anything at all. Okay, well, that's not true anymore. The situation has changed in the States. I don't know. It's like literally big stuff's happening right now. That's terrible. Could this be a demon god pillar? You mean one of the demon god pillars that escaped when Goetia was destroyed? Yes, Tanner, this is almost certainly the work of a demon god pillar. That said, the extent to which it seems not to even be making an effort to conceal the insidious nature of this anomaly concerns me. In other abnormalities we've dealt with over the past several months, like Shinjuku and Agartha, the culprits tried to keep their identities a secret. On top of that, both of those singularities occurred in the past. Here in Agartha's case, it was so thoroughly hidden that it was, in Agartha's case, it was so thoroughly hidden that it was literally miles under the ground. That is not the case here. It's taking place right now, and it's so obvious that even the US government knows about it. Neither of the other demon god pillars attempted anything like this, and that is truly worrying. Still, at least the singularities on a much smaller scale. It reminds me of Fuyuki and how it's only covering a single town. Smaller scale only in comparison with what we have seen so far, you mean? But even now, I can see this tragedy unfolding before my eyes. I pray that the dawning sun will chase away the curtain of darkness that has befallen this land. So, what will you do now, Da Vinci? And you, my friend? Well, we have to get to Salem right away, obviously. Right, Senpai. I'm afraid I disagree. The time is not yet right. Huh? But there are people in clear and present danger. 50,000 of them, no less. We do not know for sure that this is not a trap. It's possible that we may end up being glad that only tens of thousands of people lost their lives there. We are still very much in the dark ourselves. All we know for certain is what Da Vinci said. Never before have we seen such a bold approach such as this. I sense that the demon god lying unweighed in this darkness is more cautious and villainous than any we have yet to face. Oh, also someone pointed out, we've been betrayed by an old man in all 3 of them so far. So if I see an old man, I'm immediately not going to trust them. Like, let's be real here. Like, think about it. We had Archer of Shinjuku. We had Columbus. And then we had Yagyu no Takikami whatever, right? We had all 3 of them. So if we see an old man with, like, white hair, immediately, I don't trust you. You're the villain. Da Vinci, have there been any updates in the investigation? Any further details come to light? Yes, there have been a few more updates, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. When the darkness first appeared, it quickly expanded to its current radius in just a few seconds before its progress suddenly stopped. Since then, it's remained completely static, at least from the outside. Mages from the Association have sent in familiars, but we've lost contact with each and every one of them. Land, sea, low-flying air, no matter how the familiars attempted to infiltrate the darkness, not a single one of them has reported back. On top of that, the directors of Boston's Holy Church haven't been quiet about this either. I mean, when are people from Boston quiet at all, you know what I'm saying? Relatable American humor. This unidentified phenomenon precludes the use of spiritual evocations, sacrifices, runes, summoning circles, and anti-fortress and anti-army noble phantasms in the area surrounding Salem. These areas include parts of Beverly, Peabody, Danvers, Marblehead, Swampscott, and Lynn. We regretfully report that we have not discovered any evidence of magical involvement, nor can we completely rule it out in regards to the situation. All that means that this phenomenon has taken the church completely by surprise. So it's safe to conclude that none of the persons of interest they've been keeping an eye on have gone near Salem either. You can tell this was a real bitter pill for them to swallow, especially given how proud they are. It's a bit of a surprise for them to throw up their hands in bafflement like this. Though that's not to say they're at a loss for words. One of them went on to add, "Were I to venture my personal opinion, I might say it seems as if the very hand of God himself has laid waste to the earth." Can you believe that? Sure doesn't sound like something a man of the cloth should go around saying, if you ask me. Well, it would appear to be a different god than the one their faith sees as the one true god. I've heard rumors about Chaldea's staff being stationed around the world for some time now, but I had no idea they were also working at the Mages Association branches and the Holy Church. Of course they are. They're covert agents we planted on-site to blend into their respective areas. Oh, that's really interesting. The Chaldea Security Organization hasn't just been sitting around twiddling its thumbs waiting for these stray demon gods to reappear, you know. These agents are just a part of our overall effort, though I have to admit it wasn't easy finding people with no familial or community ties to come work for us. Roman always excelled at hiring the right kind of people. He did leave behind a manual detailing his procedures, but it's just not the same. One thing I will also point out, I was completely wrong. Scheherazade totally was talking about Roman and not Bedivere when she was saying that there was a servant who disappeared and, you know, how great that was, right? And, like, that was Roman, not Bedivere. And, like, yeah, woo. People are saying, like, the fan base didn't treat that very kindly. And it's like, yeah, I can definitely see why. Though apparently, in her interlude, it is brought up. So, I might check that out later for sure. Still, it definitely helped. Once I knew where to look, it was just a matter of balancing the budget. I recruited mages, demonology experts, and exorcists and stationed them in cities of interest. And Boston just so happened to be one of them. The other North American agents should be all gathered there by now. At this point, we're just still running recon. Since we're not on site ourselves, the best thing we can do right now is to gather as much information as we can and figure out our next move. So we wait for news from people we trust. That's right, at times like this, there's nothing wrong with depending on others for help. You've really grown, Tanner. Oh, thank you. Trying to handle everything yourself is the height of arrogance and can lead you to terrible mistakes, and in the end, you're left with nothing but grief. I'm relieved to see that self-sacrifice isn't your answer to everything anymore. Yeah. Can you imagine a protagonist so obsessed with self-sacrifice that it ends up killing him? Late stay night. Still, isn't there anything we can do? Of course, plenty in fact. Now that the alert level has been raised, we're getting reports from all over the world. Somebody has to determine if they're authentic and whether they're related to what's happening in Salem. I'd like you to handle that, Mash. Understood. Now that I think about it, I think it's about time we pulled in a certain great detective to help us out. His work in the hangar should probably have gotten boring to him by now, so he'll probably be in his room or just wandering around Chaldea. Tanner, would you mind speaking with Holmes yourself? Of course, I doubt you'll have much luck when he barely even pays attention to what Watson has to say. I see. Don't worry, we'll handle that too. I'll drag him in here by force if I have to, just like Miss Hudson. Is that a reference I'm missing? Besides, Da Vinci, have you been cooped up in here since last night? Ah, you noticed, did you? You're right, I was actually in the middle of testing a certain summon when the alarms sounded. Oh! Just between us, the timing couldn't have been worse. Even geniuses like me can make mistakes. For a moment, I was afraid I might unwittingly cause the second huge Chaldea explosion. Not funny. Well, you can't blame me. Not after Chaldea's main power and backup power looked like they were about to get knocked out. I see. Another piece of the puzzle. My investigation falls into place. Wait. Backup? That sounds really important. Thanks in advance for all your help, Mash. You too, Geronimo. As for you, Tanner, I want you to be ready for anything like a good master. I agree, Senpai. Please let us handle this for now. I may no longer be able to fight on the front lines, but in return I'll do everything I can to support you from back here. That's the sort of Kohai I aspire to be. Oh? Heh. Who's that? Who could that be? Thanks for waiting, everyone. We're nearly ready to begin this operation now. What's more, this will almost certainly end up being the final ray shift. The final ray shift. Aside from events. Oh, hey, you're here. Okay, and you too? Oh, and Medea. What? Okay, Holmes. Well, yeah, but why's that? Because we now know this is the very last demon god pillar. The last singularity to be observed on Earth. We may not have been able to determine where the demon god pillars that escaped the Temple of Time had hidden themselves, but we were able to find the distortions in space-time they created wherever they went. Not that we could have done that without Chaldeus, of course, it's those readings that are telling us this will be the last. The Mage Association and the UN have jointly decided to halt all ray shift operations following this pseudo-spiritron transfer. After this, barring authorization for the new director being appointed in December, never, we won't be able to ray shift anymore no matter what. That's disappointing to hear, but it does make sense. We shouldn't be ray shifting after humanity has stabilized anyway, since it does involve time travel. Exactly, which is why the ray shift technology will be sealed away once we've dealt with this final instability. It's now been 72 hours since this large-scale disappearance occurred on the east coast of North America, with Salem at its center. Okay, where actually is Salem? Salem, USA. Where is it? It is in... Oh, it is in... Okay, so yeah, it is by... Okay. It is in Massachusetts. That is the state. Okay. What was I thinking of? For some reason I was thinking it was in Oregon. Why was I thinking that it was in Oregon? What Oregon place? Oh, because there's totally a Salem in Oregon too. That's why. So I was thinking to myself, like, I've been to Salem, I thought. But no, I've been to Salem, Oregon, which is totally different than Salem in Massachusetts, because America is so special they need to name the same places twice. I love it. Don't you love it? It's the best. Okay, so we're going to Boston. Let me start by telling you what we've learned directly from our own investigation and information gathering. First off, we've decided to call the darkness that sprang up out of nowhere to cover all of Salem the Mist. Well, like London, okay. Given how it absorbs all visible light and other forms of electromagnetic waves and doesn't obey any laws of physics, we are almost certain it's an instance of magecraft. Its scale remains unchanged since it first appeared. As I mentioned earlier, a near-perfect circle with a radius of 7 kilometers. We also now know that the mist extends upwards to an average altitude of 600 meters. It's easy to enter this area, but so far, nothing that has done so has made it back out. Every one of the unmanned vehicles, unmanned surveillance units, drones, and closed-circuit robots sent in by the US Army have been swallowed up by the dark. Isn't this the plot of that one movie with the terrible bear thing? What's that movie? About, like, the wall of stuff. bear monster movie. What's it called? Annihilation. It's like Annihilation. Either way, or either that or they simply ceased functioning the moment they got too close. I've not seen Annihilation. From what I hear, it's terrifying. They have also tried using helicopters. I'm told they're called Apaches. Oh, that's ironic. To lower in sensors, but all of those ended up being destroyed as well. Why are they called Apaches? Why? It's a strange choice. So not even a single drone made it back? I'm afraid not. Each and every one ended up broken and inoperable. A number of journalists snuck past the army's blockade and went into the mist themselves, but there's no sign that any of them have returned. The same is true of the trained animals they sent in for reconnaissance, poor things. Nor have we been able to confirm any birds or other wild animals either coming from or going into the mist.
Curses! Then it has to be a completely barren wasteland, a barbaric land of darkness that does not suffer even a single watt to pass.
We tried to fight magecraft with magecraft by bringing in our own mages. They sent in familiars protected by magical barriers, cyberdaemons, automata, and more. Unfortunately, despite the local staff's best efforts, those ended in failure too. But as of last night, we finally received word that a single attempt was successful, returning with valuable new information.
Would you not have just led with that and spared us all that extra nonsense? I mean, what do the U.S. Army's troubles really matter to us? How dare you! Have you no respect for their sense of duty? My schedule's completely shot thanks to having to write a manuscript on such short notice. Just look at these bags under my eyes. Now, my friend, I understand how you feel, but let us not make molehills into mountains. The important thing is that our work is now done. Our duty has passed like a ship in the night.
You there, leave that alone. We need it for dealing with the mist properties and to prepare our future countermeasures. It's especially important that you understand this part, Tanner. Were you two writing a manuscript?
Oh, that? We poor feeble offers were beset by a storm last night, but I believe your attention would better be spent on the matter at hand.
The only thing that made it back was a single mechanical doll. It was originally designed to be a clock before a puppet master mage, disguised as a clockmaker, repurposed it. It's made out of oak gears, cast iron nails, and baleen. Baleen, like whale? A robot created without any modern technology whatsoever. Like when they say baleen, that's like whale parts, right? Yeah, whalebone, right? Yeah, so it's made out of whalebone then. Okay. Huh. This medieval robot managed to bring back sketches of what things are like inside the mist by automatically transcribing what it saw with its crystal pupils. Take a look at these. What do we got? Okay. Okay. Looks like America. This looks just like the United States. I don't see a problem.
I see. Yes, this is definitely Salem. A peaceful, run-of-the-mill village whose pious residents live their lives with integrity. However, this is not modern-day Salem. These sketches clearly show how it looked centuries ago.
Oh, but I mean, I couldn't tell the difference. Small-town USA looks the same to me. Right, we cross-referenced them with our records and found that they were identical to Salem in the late 17th century. Basically, the world within the darkness is 17th century Salem as it was in colonial times.
I see. That would mean it's still British territory then. No wonder the US Army was so completely useless. Be quiet! This cowardly invasion cannot stand! What about the 50,000 people who live there now?
Remember, this is not the first time this land has been invaded.
Ah.
Oh boy. As we've established, this recorded observations are of Salem in the 17th century. The only way the robot could make such observations if the past has been faithfully recreated, or if some manner of magecraft is displacing the area itself. It's fascinating to ponder, but the effect this could have on humanity is immeasurable. This is almost certainly the work of a demon god pillar still plotting to incinerate humanity. Demon god pillar, that reminds me. Geronimo, earlier you said that the name Salem is cursed. What did you mean by that? That's all in the past now. It belongs to history. Do you mind if I tell this story, Mr. Edison?
By all means. Though we may wish it weren't so, this remains part of our nation's history.
Very well then, the town of Salem and its neighboring lands were home to 3 tragedies. The first was plague. When the white man came to our shores, he brought with him an epidemic that nearly wiped out the Massachusetts tribe living in the Boston Harbor. Oh! So Massachusetts is like the name of the tribe? Okay, I thought that was America just being horrible with their names. That's their name. They are the Massachusetts. Okay. Hey, I learned something today. The second was war, albeit this war was more of a massacre. The Wampanoag tribe members that managed to survive the plague put up a valiant fight, but in the end, their chief's skull still became an ornament for the white man's village. Never mind that the white man only survived the cruel winter thanks to the resources the Wampanoag left behind. In a stroke of truly bitter irony, the state would go on to be named after the Massachusetts tribe, and these events would be celebrated as a national holiday. Yep, that sounds about right. And here's the thing, I'm saying that, but Canada is not much better, so I know. I'm talking about all of North America right now. Finally, the third tragedy that took place in Salem was the witch trials. This time, the white man went around killing his own kind. Fearing the devil's influence, they hung many innocent people. I trust you now see why I call it a cursed land. I do. So do these trials have anything to do with Jean? Wait, trials? I thought the term was witch hunt. Let's go with this one.
No, he speaks truth. 'Twas witch trials that took place there. That said, these were but a farce of the court as we now know it today. There they were naught but a pretense for the villagers to indulge in their worst impulses. These were trials in name alone, no more than an excuse for the church to exercise its power. The weak and unwanted were stoned to death. Even the densest of fools could see these trials for what they were. By the time matters had progressed to barbaric witch hunts, the wickedness and corruption had spread so far and taken such deep root that money changed hands unencumbered by virtue or concern for justice. Fire burn and cauldron bubble. They are merely characters who only ever appeared in works of fiction. I may have made use of them in my own stories, but I have never once encountered the genuine article. Seething.
I love it. He's just like, Shakespeare's like, there's no such thing as a witch. Well, there's a witch right beside him.
Furthermore, those who claim these fictional beings are real in order to serve their own selfish ends are simply in denial of that delusion. In mine own time as well, people sense the truths through skin and scent. Even if they did rarely put pen to paper to express what they truly thought. That there is indeed a collective unconscious that fears witches and their curses. Now that some time has passed since then, I wonder what things are like in the modern day. I have a Tumblr page. Many people follow me who say we are the daughters of the witches you haven't burned. I do say I think they are lying and are just teenagers in California.
I believe that is less relevant than one might think. I have no interest in determining where in history late 17th century Salem should fall. Nevertheless, it is abundantly clear that piety was not the only thing that the Puritans brought with them to the New World. Those who loathe sin, who would judge sinners by their own hands, are inevitably the sort who wish to engage in sin themselves. Ho, you are telling the truth, sir!
Such people will always exist, no matter the day and age. It is a fundamental aspect of the criminal mind. So what then is a witch? A criminal? A victim? The answer to that question has changed as people's beliefs have shifted over time. As one who understands the mysterious and the mystic, and rejects the guidance of an unknowable god, I would say that the witch trials are exactly what their name suggests, a lawful process used to pass judgment on so-called witches, an attempt to manage the frenzied panic of a witch hunt in a stylish, civilized manner. Of course, offering madness a seat at the dinner table often comes after it. Oh, hey, woo! Of course, offering madness a seat at the dinner table after it comes barging in unannounced does nothing to change its inherent nature. Thus, the persecution of witches continues unabated in the West until it culminated in its final chapter in the New World, ironically in Salem, a land steeped in pious faith. It was there where the devil truly ran free, where reason and desire, scientific spirit, and occult mindsets came together. Enough. Put the violin away. What possible use could it be here? If you want to hear yourself talk, then go to your room where you won't bother anyone. Oh, that was a bit long-winded, and here I thought I was being considerate by drawing the listener in with generous amounts of exposition.
I think that's enough witch trial talk for now. For my part, over the last few days, I've been investigating whether there might have been any changes in past events. I've been checking the repaired foundations over and over for signs of instability. I haven't overlooked anything, and yet something is still going on. There's something about this singularity that's unlike anything we've seen but so far. Some small distortion that threatens the very rules of this world.
The data is indeed accurate, and this case is undeniably clear for all to see. Which would mean the culprit is closer to a god than a human, a demon god to be precise. It is certainly no surprise that a demon god pillar would act veiled in secrecy, but even mysterious acts like this are bound by incontrovertible rules. However, these rules cannot be tested from the outside. To do so, one must venture inwards, to get, as they say, up close and personal.
Holmes is right. If we can't get information that makes sense from the outside, then we have to investigate from the inside. Master Tanner, as Chaldea's acting director, I'm formally requesting that you be the one to enter the mist. I want you to investigate whatever's inside, rescue as many people as you can, find the Demon God Pillar, and destroy it. Sure, but how do I do that? What are we doing? You're up, Mesh. Right, the Mist's bounded field. We've conducted a number of tests in our analysis of the automata that successfully returned, and learned that the Mist eliminated anything made with post-17th century technology. That's why the cutting-edge drones that were sent in ceased to function. Well, what's inside the Mist? Well, as the acting commander said earlier, they do appear to be humans inside. What's more, we believe that they are leading normal lives despite their confinement.
Normal lives? Then the people who live there are alright. But, wait a moment. Would they be panicking out of their minds? I know I would.
I'm afraid Unfortunately, we just don't know whether these people are safe. We haven't gathered enough information yet. As you saw from the sketches, the area inside the Mist has changed completely. It appears to be recreating Salem and the way its people lived their lives in the late 17th century. Whatever the reason for that may be, that's where we need to begin. How do you learn all that from an automata alone? This was information we got from the near-future observation lens Sheba. Incredibly detailed information, too. Especially given that it was observing something in present-day space-time. Usually Sheba isn't much help at all, so the whole staff was puzzled as to why we were able to use it here. I'm sure there's a good explanation for it, but since we don't have time to figure it out right now, I'm just gonna chalk it up to an unexpected stroke of good luck.
Indeed. Truly, this is an act of providence. God has clearly seen fit to bless us in this dire time. Now we should hurry and find a way through that field, whatever it takes.
I agree, which is why Holmes and I put our heads together and came up with a possible strategy. A race shift that results in the same era. This way we can send you straight to the heart of Salem without moving you across time. However, there are two major conditions involved with this plan I need you to understand, Tanner. As I explained earlier, we get a one round-trip race shift, period. What's more, the number of people we can shift is severely limited. The Association has already forced us to shut down the reactor in Chaldea's basement, so we only have enough remaining magical energy for one last large-scale round trip.
But there are exceptions to every rule. This goes to show you can't cross a bridge until you come to it.
We're not operating independently anymore. We can't afford to be optimistic or even pessimistic. As for the second condition, you'll need to dress for the occasion so that you don't stand out in late 17th century Salem. Think of it as officially sanctioned cosplay. It may sound silly, but we believe it'll be essential to letting you move around Salem unimpeded.
Sounds great to me. I'll go first then. You can't. Why not?
Bill, tell them.
Indeed. Once we learned all this, Lady Da Vinci asked us to come up with a scenario for infiltrating the area. I nearly fainted when I first thought she was asking me to sneak in, so you can imagine my relief knowing this is not the case. You do know you don't have to share every thought that comes from that swollen head of yours, don't you? After all, we our servants are but a band of fools and eccentrics. As such, we are well suited to being actors. Thus, in this scenario, you will visit Salem as part of a traveling group of performers, a troupe, if you will. What a joke. The great William Shakespeare reduced to writing a script for a glorified circus act. I knew even before you put quill to paper that, taking that into account the inexperienced actors and the uptight audience, there was no way the script would be suitable. Now, Anderson, there's nothing more delightful in a story than a surprising and well-conceived twist. In this case, we hardly need world-class talent. Of course, they will need to be able to perform in some fashion, or the whole ploy will be for naught. But a troupe is, by definition, a place where those who are otherwise unable to learn a living drift together, and makes for perfect camouflage.
Wait, hold up, William Shakespeare. You mean we're going to be performing? Is there a problem with that? I think it's a pretty clever idea myself. As for which servants will actually be joining this troupe, I decided to choose them myself, taking Bill's opinion into account, of course.
Let me tell you, it was a terrible headache coming up with a scenario that fit these rank amateurs. Still, that's not to say it wasn't fulfilling. Go ahead and knock yourselves out with this manuscript. Just make sure you pay in full and up front.
So then neither Shakespeare or Anderson will be joining this mission. What about you, Geronimo? I'm sure Senpai would be greatly relieved to have you along.
I'm sorry, Mash, but I can't do that. I wasn't cast in this operation either.
Oh.
No doubt they thought my inclusion would lead to unforeseen difficulties, even as a member of...
Oh, racism. Got it. Sounds good.
I would like nothing more than to help, but not if it means putting my friend in danger.
Oh, I see. On the flip side of that, it's gotten into you, Medea. You loathed this idea from the moment you heard it. You said you'd refused even if we used a command spell. Does the fact that you've been standing around without making a peep mean you still haven't made a decision? Well, I guess I'm still thinking about it. You want to send Medea to Salem? Are you serious? Even if she is going to pretend to be a true member, that's far too dangerous. After all, Medea really is a...
Exactly. Regardless of Medea's extenuating circumstances, sending a real witch to a place famous for witch hunts is the height of folly. Boring, dull, dim-witted. I should have expected no better response from a lion. Quite. There's not a hint of humor or adventure to be found in it. Indeed, couldn't have said it better myself. Go ahead and laugh if you want. I'm used to being ridiculed by selfish so-called geniuses. But this is neither the time or place to be discussing humor, or fashion, or patents. There are American citizens who have been swallowed up by this darkness. Their very lives are at stake. If you want to be funny, then save it for the movies.
I understand you're very patriotic, Edison, but I'm afraid things aren't that simple. This may be the modern day, but we're dealing with a world from the past and a town of witch hunts where external support just isn't an option. Common sense alone won't get us through this. We need a specialist's expertise. That's why we're counting on Medea to serve in as an advisory role. If a demon god is behind this, then it's going to be an extremely difficult mission. And there's no one better suited to find the line between superstition and magecraft than her. Of course, we really didn't expect this request to upset her like it has. But if she changed her mind after sleeping on it, then all's well that ends well. But settle down, there's no problem here. No, wait, let me try that again. There's no need to make a fuss over things that haven't come to pass, Smash. I swear by Hecate. Frick, people called me out on this because I used the Japanese pronunciation. I think it's Hecate. I swear by Hecate that I won't let any harm befall Master.
What's this? Are you feeling a bit off today or something?
I was just in a bad mood last night. Anyways, it's up to Master to make the final call. Am I wrong, little writer?
I'm getting chills. There's something seriously wrong with her.
What about you, Master? You come along too? I can't. I was never part of the cast to begin with, so... Anyway, now that you're all caught up, I'm gonna go ahead and begin the race ship preparations. In the meantime, Tanner, I want you to brief everyone we chose to accompany you. Remember, we don't have a lot of time before you need to leave. I especially want you to keep in mind that this is our one and only chance to rate shift. So who we got? This is a long prologue. This is a really long prologue. It's almost been an hour. Oh. Oh, what you reading there? Oh, it's the file for this mission. Did you already finish your briefing? Me? Oh, don't worry, I'm fine. I've been working pretty hard these last few days, but I'm feeling better now that I've had a bit of a break. Compared to what you and everyone else who's about to head to Salem must be going through. I'm sorry. You're right. Looking back now, I have been a bit discouraged. It goes without saying at this point, but I'm not a combatant anymore. I'm Da Vinci's assistant and a summoning circle engineer. Having an ordinary Chaldea staff member like myself go to somewhere like Salem would only put me and everyone else in danger. I just wish there was some way I could be useful. Useful, that's it. Yeah, Mash, what's up? I'm sorry, Senpai, I just remembered something urgent I have to do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to prepare right away. See you later. Oh, she's determined. Now that's some impressive Kohai power. Hoo-ha! Wow, this is massive. Okay, looks like everyone's all set. We'll be sending a party of 6 into Salem, including Tanner. Once again, do not let your guard down after making your way past the bounded field. Make sure not to say or do anything that might give away the fact you aren't originally from the 17th century. Alright, initiating race shift sequence. Wait! Please take me with you to Salem. Oh. Well, now, that's a pretty last-minute request. I'm afraid I've already filled the roles we need. There aren't any other... Yes, there is. I've heard that troops like these have a prompter who works behind the scenes to feed the performers their lines. In that case, I believe Senpai will need a dependable Kohai to be his secretary. Don't worry about the scripts. I've already learned them all by heart. I dare say you won't find a better prompter than me on such short notice anywhere, so once again, I request to accompany the rest of the troupe. Of course, I'm certain I can be useful as an on-site Chaldea staff member as well. Oh yeah, sure, let's second that request. You memorized our entire script? Well, I'm impressed. I certainly can't argue with that. What do you think, Mr. Showbiz? Does your script need a bit of support? My script is nothing less than perfection itself. However, even a perfect script means little without actors to bring it to life. A prompter to feed the performers on stage their lines, you say? Such a role could be well crucial to ensuring the success of a performance put on by an amateur cast. Above all, I cannot help but commend her for memorizing the entire script. As such, I am more than happy to support Mash's request. Besides, if the troupe cannot perform convincingly, they are certain to come under suspicion. To be honest, I think this would be a great help. What do you think, Geronimo? I'm afraid I can't concur. Having a young girl accompany a troupe of performers is bound to invite misunderstandings. It would be dangerous, even without the threat of combat, but I will say that Mash seems to have taken all of that into consideration. In which case, I believe this is Master's decision to make. What if I say she's the troupe's little sister? Little? If anything, I believe Mash should be more convincing as your older sister. Aw, dang. I'll warn you now, Tanner, such a pretense would only invite further suspicion. Me playing Senpai's older sister. I can see you're set on this, and the other party members don't appear to have any objections. If Tanner's okay with it, then I have no real basis to refuse Mash's request. But let me give you this warning. Integrity won't keep you safe in a world of abnormalities. Sometimes you'll need to be a straight-up sophist. Sophist?
To Google, what the heck does that mean?
A sophist was a teacher. What? An example of sophistry is when you combine multiple questions into one that presupposes something unproven. A man on trial has been charged with robbery. The prosecutor asks him, so do you still rob banks? Okay, well, or to look the other way. At times like that, you'll need to weigh your own principles against the mission's success. Understood. I'll keep that in mind.
I'm counting on you, Tanner. Good luck!
Okay, to Salem. Let's go, everyone. Alright then, in this case, I hereby issue the Remnant Order's final command. Well, I mean, aside from the one that we'll be doing later, but Master Tanner will arrive at the Salem Singularity at the current time. Make sure you make full use of all your experience to date and see it to it that you come back safely from this especially exceptional mission. So I guess you can totally just race shift to somewhere in, like, the modern day. Didn't we do that in one of the things, too? Excellent. Everything looks good with the race shift. Okay, let's get back to our monitoring duties. All servants remain on standby until further notice. You think it was a good idea to let her go along? I knew that Mash would want to go. You were the one who was most against it, Da Vinci. I've nearly been accused of being a witch myself. Oh, not in the broom-flying, wand-wielding, people-cursing sense, so much as being thought of as a heretic. Somebody claimed the autopsies I did for research were evil rituals. I'm sorry to say that back then, I didn't handle it very bravely. Instead of standing up for what I believed in, I found myself at a loss for words. I turned my back on the truth, and had to lie about who I really was. Over time, that kind of pressure starts to eat away at you. It's like poison more than anything else. I just thought that Mash was a little young to go through that kind of torture.
Don't be silly. Those two have seen nearly every side of humanity by now. The ugliness of the witch trials should put a nice bow on the whole thing. Besides, the very notion of sending a troupe of performers into a Puritan village was utter lunacy from its genesis. Indeed, fighting fire with fire, as they say. Ha ha ha!
Uh-oh. Huh? Where are Tanner and the others? Did they already leave? Oh, do we not have Medea with us? Darn it! I really wanted her to be with us.
What are you still doing here?
What's going on? Was there a problem with the race shift?
Oh ho! We seem to have gotten our twist rather early in the story. How delightful. How is this delightful? This is terrible. Is there no way we can contact them?
I've been knocked out this whole time. That wasn't me who went along. That was someone pretending to be me, using magic as a disguise. So we're dealing with someone capable of outwitting a witch. This is bad. If you're here, then who's the Medea who went to Salem? Oh, and then who's flying the plane? That looks like an Ace Attorney courtroom. Forbidden Advent Garden Salem, Heretical Salem, 1692. Ah. Oh. Oh, you're not joking. That is darkness. Yep. That is pure darkness. Oh, my alarm's going off in my room. Stop. I love that feature. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, well, this is going to... What weekend? Weekend. Why does it say weekend? Okay, so I don't have to use a guest servant, thank God. But why am I weekend? How am I weekend? That's my question, huh? Okay. Let's go... Ushi here's a good one. And then I want power down. Can I check? No target. It doesn't say how. Okay, let's go with Kill Rider. Let's bring you up. Yeah, this is a team of witches. For sure, for sure. Let's bring you there. Yeah. And then you... and then we'll switch you out. Just, again, keep the bond grinding going. Although I think it is... I think the event bonus is for casters, if I'm correct. Right? They get a bonus here for the bond bonus. So if I click here, is it just casters? Yeah, it's just casters get a bonus. So, I mean, I'm not using it for this for sure. Like, I'm not doing that, but for other ones I would. Let's go with, let's get you to get big meter. Let's get, let's put this on you. That's fine with you. That's fine with you. Okay. Alright. Well, I'm guessing... Okay, so they say it has to be stuff that fits the era. Will they force me to not use this? We'll have to see. We'll see. Weekend, huh? That's the first time I've seen that. Section 1. Not before dawn. That sounds like a survival horror game for the PlayStation 4. Does this mean we've made it inside? It looks like we're in a forest outside of Salem sometime before daybreak. I mean, that is what we were trying for, but it's so dark, even for night. Everyone alright? I'm still getting my bearings here. Sure doesn't feel too hospitable, though, I'll tell you that much. I figured it'd be pitch black inside the mist, but it's actually a lot brighter than I thought. I'm impressed, Robin. I should have known you'd have great night vision. I can barely see a thing. Do you think you could take guard duty? Sure, got it. I'll check out our watches against the stars later to make sure. I'll check our watches against the stars later to make sure we're all synced up too. Well, that didn't take long. I've already got eyes on someone suspicious. Looks like a guy, but that's a witch if I ever saw one. Just look at the beady, evil eyes. Are you talking about me? That's Rich. If I were you, I'd hope no one mistakes me for a bandit and shoots me. Stop it, you two! You should at least try to act like performers. What if someone overheard you? Good point. What the? Oh, Neza's here. Damn, you scared me. Oh, I know you. You're Crown Prince Neza, one of the newbies. You've been standing there so still that I mistook you for a wax doll. Dolls lack capacity for thought. You show no sign of thought. Does that mean you are a doll? Oh, that's harsh. Guess I deserve that. Sorry. Just forget I said anything. Is everyone here? Just a moment, Senpai. Slowly but surely, my eyes are starting to adjust to the dark. Over there, is that... Medea? It is you, right? Can you come closer, please? We need to stick together right now. I know. Ray shifting. Whoever thought it was a good idea to combine magecraft and science? I don't think I'll ever get used to this feeling. Huh? Anyway, that's all 7 of us, including Senpai. Everyone, please make sure you have your things, and then we'll be on our way. Okay, let's go find the village. Interesting group. Man, I can't believe we're all stuck walking. You'd think Da Vinci could have planned something a little more convenient. Besides, if we had a covered wagon to ride in, it'd go a long way towards helping the locals buy what we're selling. You really do love complaining, don't you? We're only able to bring a bare minimum of equipment we need. We'll just need to make do with what we've got. That's always how it is with ray shifts. If we need anything else, we procure it on site. Yeah, I know. We're traveling performers, so we don't have a whole lot to our names. Guess I should be honored that the Bard himself came up with our little bit of theater. Come to think of it, we had to decide on a name for our merry band. Any ideas, Master? I was wondering about that too. We should figure that out before we run into anyone. Okay, let's go with the Tanner Company. Ah, the Tanner Company, huh? It's great. It's so funny. It's not all that bad. You don't have any manners, do you? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a little too witty for you? I didn't know you great scholars were so hard-headed. I gotta say, though, you don't you think it's a little... don't you think that it's not all that bad as kind of a condescending as praise goes? I didn't mean it like that now that you mention it. I know what you meant. Thank you, Ringmaster. You're very kind. Senpai, I can't help but notice that Robin and Sensen are always at each other's throats. Well, one's the poster boy for irreverence, and one is the Mr. Reverence. Yeah. Whatever. I know we were prepared for it, but it's not like we're for sure gonna put on a play. I'd just as soon not cross that bridge if we don't have to. Don't worry, I can always entertain with my dancing. Besides, we have 2 beautiful stars right here, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, Matahari, you are the exact example of someone who they would brand as a witch, because they would probably call you a gypsy. Me? I know that Ness is an important character in many Chinese operas, like Journey to the West, but you're not also talking about me, are you? I sure am. If I have to, I'll even bring Master up on the stage. I mean, if Mash does it, I'm sure I can too. Senpai! If that is your wish, Master, I shall do my best. The expression is knock them dead. That doesn't mean actually kill them. It's all pretend, got it? So don't go shooting at us or the audience. Oh, and there's one last thing I want to make sure of. I get we're gonna try and explain away our outfits as performers' costumes, but isn't it gonna be a problem that we've got some obviously Asian people here with us? I think we should be okay there. I was concerned about how Senpai would be received here, so I checked our historical records. The late 17th century was also the tail end of the Age of Exploration. At the time, most of the interest in colonization had moved to the New World. But Europe already had a strong connection to Asia thanks to the East India Company. They regularly imported spices from Southeast Asia, textiles from India, and tea and ceramics from China. So, since Salem was a British colony, and would later go on to be a thriving port town with lots of trade, the people here may not exactly see Asians every day, but they shouldn't be so unusual that would make them distrust us. That's so. Figures that tea would be one of the great British Empire's three base desires. Be that as it may, we should still prepare ourselves to be treated with prejudice. Indeed, what's more, we do not know for sure that the culture here is the same as 17th century Salem for our history or not. By the way, Tanner, is there a way for us to contact Chaldea here? Huh? You mean our communications device? Didn't Da Vinci explain all this to us herself, Medea? I was present as an assistant myself, but I was preoccupied with making sure Senpai didn't nod off. Yes, of course, I just wanted to review the information, given how important it is. We can never return to Chaldea ever again. Huh? You're kidding, right? Don't tell me we're stuck here forever. Yes, he's kidding. Oh, Senpai. I have a special device for that purpose, though it'll take time to set up. So we won't be able to report our safe arrival back to Chaldea until that's done. Can anyone at all use that device? No, only Senpai. Ordinarily, this area wouldn't permit any kind of magic communication at all, but I was told we could get around that by linking the key mechanism to Senpai's command spells, since Senpai has a strong connection to all the servants still at Chaldea. However, this method makes use of a backdoor, a byproduct of sort that happens when Shiba acts up, so I believe it'll only be used for this particular race shift. That said, it's not as though we're pressed for time. The important thing is that our race shift here was successful. I see. They really thought this through. Is something important you need to contact Chaldea about? No, I was just curious. Hold it, I see light up ahead. It's a campfire. Oh. Oh, does this mean we're already at the center of Salem? I doubt it. If that were the case, we'd be seeing fields long before even a hint of houses. There's a fair few people. I can hear them chattering amongst themselves. We gotta keep out of sight and move in for a closer look. Oh. Do you all have your white ash branches? These are our magic wands. Now it's time to rap on the door. Tap it 3 times against the earth, against the invisible door. A-rat-tat-tat-tat. 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 Tap. This door leads to the world beyond, and once it's open, a spirit will appear and gift us with a prophecy. What sort of prophecy, Abby? It will tell you things about the future you desire, the boy of your dreams, and also, glimpses of a far, far away world that's nothing like our own. The spirit will whisper what you must do to make your dreams come true. I want a dress that's even whiter than snow, something that's sure to catch his eye. I want to be a brunette, with hair dark as raven's feathers. I want to know who I'm going to marry one day. Eek! Okay then, everyone, make your wish as you throw your wands into the fire. Shall we sing Tituba's magic spell too? Oh, that's creepy. Oh, I don't like that. Yes, let's. Yo, maybe they're right. There are witches here. Okay. What the hell's all that? They look like they're girls from the village, but they're all acting, well, crazy. Look how much fun they're having dancing! I wish I could join them. But what are girls that young doing out this late at night? Could it be a trap or some sort of magecraft ritual? Sense any magical energy, Medea? No, but... oh, this is bad, very bad. What is? If anything, the opposite. I sense nothing since we came here. Our magecraft has been severely weakened. Here, let me prove it. Robin Sanson, dancing girl, can you change into your spirit forms? Oh, dang. No, I can't. What's going on here? Oh no, are you no longer servants? Don't tell me you've been incarnated. No, that's not what this is. It feels more like I've been crammed into a temporary human body more than anything. I thought the Spiritron conversion felt a little weird even after the race shift. Man, this is going to be a real pain in the ass. Who goes there? Oh! You don't look normal. You have an interesting character design. Who are you? Robin, lower your bow. It's just a child. Damn it, I let my guard down when we got here. If she overheard what we were just talking about. Hi there, young lady. What brings you out here? You're outsiders. Senpai? Keep calm and act troupish. You heard Senpai. I mean the ringmaster. Oh dear, I guess you saw us practicing our secret routine. Really, Robin, if we're gonna have an audience, then at least you could do is get your lines right. Oh, right, sorry about that. I forgot the enemies don't show up till later again. Not a problem. First to act, first to win. All foes eradicated. Are you friend or foe? Do you offer us the blade or the hilt? Nessa! Hello there. I'm sorry. Oh no, he's French. He's French. Hello there. I am sorry if we startled you. As you saw, that scene is not yet ready for the performance. But don't worry, we're not. That accent. Are you a French soldier? A fugitive? I have to get out of here. Oh no, she ran off into the woods. I told you not to be French. It really scares people. You there? Sans Mash, wait, we can deal with her later. Something's going on near the campfire, Master. Oh, what's happening there? Oh, beasts, let's stop them. Ah! Stay together, everyone. They'll pick you off if we get separated. What's going on? Why are there wild beasts so close to the village? Come on, Abby, let's get out of here. Wait, let me get a piece of firewood, otherwise... Ah! We have to stay together to get back. Grrr, grrr, eee. Grrr, yipe. Huh? Man, these New World beasties sure are rowdy. Who are you? This Knoll dummy didn't realize he'd been surrounded by wild beasts, young lady. Too bad none of them seemed like they'd make good dinner. Hell, they look hungrier than we are. Demonic presence, these beasts. Beasts no longer. Ringmaster! You don't mind if we throw down with these things, right? Wait, Ringmaster, we need to help these girls first. Matahari, you and Mash get the girls somewhere safe. Yes, but, Ringmaster. Your village is down that way, right? Then let's get going. And they're just like, why are you speaking Japanese? That's weird. Why because like, unless there's some, I think they actually do establish there's some magecraft that establishes that they are, you know, speaking the same language. It's just not race shift exclusive. Whoa! That guitar! That's a good guitar. Ooh. Heck yeah, I'm ready to jam. Alright, well, let's start with some of this. Cool stuff. So when we say power down, can we actually like check to see what that means? I can still use my skills, right? So like what does it mean to be powered down? It said that, but that means nothing to me currently. Just some wolves though. Nothing to worry about right now. That guitar is so good. I can hear him just rocking out on it. How much do you get? Yeah, cool. Excite Tengu, that's amazing. I love it. Pop that on. Let's go. Yeah, let's try this. And this is, yours is multi-hit, right? Yeah, all enemies. Sounds good. You really don't need that. Let's go. This. Get some stars.
自在天眼これが私の全力の水遊びです天狗のハウスは新しな風
Good stuff.
死になさい
Okay.
こちらをどうぞ
Ah, fool. Just finish this as you would. Yeah, I like this battle theme. It's not very... It's more atmospheric than anything, and that's a good thing. I definitely enjoy it. Like, it reminds me of like a, you know, like a Shin Megami Tensei sort of thing, with just like providing that atmosphere. And done. I'll go at it with Master. You guys finish up here. What's going on here? It's lucky that these creatures weren't too strong, but it seems our strength has been halved. Oh, were they? Oh. Indeed, this strange false incarnation has more dire effects than I thought. At this point, we may as well be human. We might be in for some tough battles down the road. Yes, it is difficult, but worry not, Sanson. The Buddha always watches and protects in forsaken lands. It's very reassuring, Neza. How did it feel to you, Medea? Oh wait, did you sit that battle out? So it only affects combat. What is it, Medea? Don't tell me you're upset that we beat them before you could. True, we may have overdone it. That albino girl saw us fight. Oh, is she albino? I didn't even... Are you talking about Abby? She might be, actually. I see, that could be very bad. Do we silence her? Careful how you say things, Neza. I'm merely worried about one of those beasts attacking her. I'm gonna take a look around. Okay, I'll examine these beasts in the meantime. Who are you? Who is she gonna be? Are you alright, Senpai? Senpai? Oh, I mean... Thank you for helping us. Blonde hair, blue eyes? Yeah, I guess that does fit albino, although blonde hair is almost more transparent, usually, but... We couldn't have escaped from those mean beasts otherwise. You saved our lives. Sanson, Neza, and Medea are putting out the campfire. I'll be here soon. Oh goodness. Are you okay? Here, I've got you. I'm sorry, now that we're out of danger, I was just so relieved that my legs gave out. I'm Tanner, can I ask your name? Tanner. Of course, I'm Abigail. I live here in Salem. Who are you people? You don't look like sailors or merchants. We almost never get pilgrims or travelers here, and you're wearing such strange clothes. We're the Tanner Company, a band of traveling performers. This is Tanner. He may be young, but he's still the ringmaster our troupe is named after. We got lost on our way to Salem and ended up here in the woods. Performers? Oh, wow. You mean you came all this way from Boston? That's wonderful. I've never seen a real play before. Everyone's gonna be so happy. By the way, do you know today's date, Abigail? Oh, please call me Abby, Mr. Ringmaster. Today's date? Well, it's already past midnight, so that would make it... That's my birthday. That would make it April 21st. Yesterday was the Sabbath. Yeah, that's... Is that a coincidence, or is that just... Does it pick your birthday? The year too? Oh, it's the year of our Lord, 1692. 1692 of all the years to come to Salem.
Abigail? Who are these people?
Oh, Uncle. Oh, they don't trust him.
I don't know what you were thinking. Talking, taking the other children out into the woods in the middle of the night. But I'll deal with that later.
Yes, Uncle. As for these people, Uncle, they're...
Well now, traveling performers, The other girls tell me you saved them from a pack of wild beasts. And you're the troupe's ringmaster, eh, Mr. Tanner? You must let me express my thanks. Let's see, it'll be quite difficult to find a decent inn in Salem at this hour. And I can't have such upstanding young men and women staying at the same flophouse as those ruffians from
Flophouse is a real word? Wow.
Why don't you all stay at my home, if that's alright with you?
That sounds great, thank you. Wow. Do you mean it, Uncle? That's wonderful. It's the best news I've heard my whole life.
That's enough, Abigail. You put all your friends in terrible danger. Once we get home, you will go straight to your room. You will have only water tomorrow for your breakfast and lunch. That's child abuse. And of course, you are forbidden to speak to our guests until I give you permission.
Okay, I will do as you say.
Oh yes, I still haven't introduced myself. I am Randolph Carter, a scholar. I adopted Abigail as my own daughter after her parents, my sister and her husband, passed away. Now then, it's getting rather chilly and we can talk more tomorrow. You'll feel much better after you've rested up from your journey in a nice warm bed. I'll have Tituba fix you something to eat too.
I sure hope Tituba isn't who I think it's going to be. It might be. It might actually be. It'd be interesting for sure. Oh, wow. We're so far back in time. It's before color was invented. Wow. All right. It's also bigger than I honestly expected. Like, and that one has smoke coming out. Oh, some of them do. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Well, these parts are, it reminds me a lot of, Shimosa, where it's just like long, lot of reading, but hey, that's fine. That's enjoyable. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next time for some more Fate Grand Order, where we head into Salem and see what's going on. Well, to the Carter residence first. We'll see you then for that. Ciao.
Strong.